everybody. Welcome to the Waterboys Podcast. I have Yusuf and Naya here, and I have Ben Shockley over here, and we're going to talk about your favorite sports and some trivia to go along with it. So, let's get it.
Let's do it. Ben, how was your weekend?
My weekend was just pretty terrible, Yusuf. I had to suffer through... The state of Washington just kind of owns the state of Michigan right now.
Yeah.
The Huskies beat down on our Noble University last Saturday, and then the Seahawks over the Lions on Sunday.
That was a fantastic game.
It was a great game.
Fantastic.
It was a great game. But Yusuf, how was your weekend?
I was on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Yeah, it wasn't. My weekend was all right. As you said, it wasn't a great weekend for sports for me, but
You have other stuff going on?
That's impressive. Life was great.
That's great.
Life was cool.
Good for you.
So, yeah, the sports sucked, but life is good.
Okay, well, the official NFL TikTok posted a memes version of Week 2 recap, so I thought it'd be pretty funny if you reacted to it, so...
I'd love to. Can me and Ben watch it together?
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie. They had us. We weren't defeated, but they had us.
It
was right there! Hey, yo, what the...
That last one,
Go on.
the Cowboys, they've had a great start to their year, but let's not sit here and act like the New York teams exactly have their stuff together.
Yeah, no, but I just want to say that Mike McDaniel video is probably, I don't know, I just love Mike McDaniel. I don't even think he could be a head coach. He could be, he's just my, favorite person right now. Person of the week, Mike McDaniel. Just keep being you, man.
It's so fun with him, because he, NFL coaches are there's such an archetype for NFL coaches, and then there's this guy.
They're the kings of taking their jobs too serious.
Yeah.
And he's kind of showing everybody, hey,
the polar opposite.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as you're a good coach and the players respect you, you can kind of get away with a lot. And I think, not to jump on the lines too early, but I think Dan Campbell's another example of that, just in a different way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it a little different.
And then, based off Week 2, Yusuf and Ben, list your top 5 teams. You can't have duplicates, so list your top 5 teams you think are good so far.
Top 5 NFL teams.
Yeah.
Number 1, I'm going to stick with the Ravens. That's who is my number 1 last week in the AFC, and I just I'm liking them. They just seem like they got it together. They're not even completely healthy, but they're still just playing good ball. Other than the Ravens, number 2.
Well, can I get my number 1 in
yes,
here?
yes.
Yeah.
My bad.
The best team in the NFL, and it's not close, is the San Francisco 49ers. It's not close right now.
That's my number 2. That is my number 2. I think it's... I don't know what necessarily my argument is to put the Ravens over them, but I just... that's how I'm feeling right now. But no, I think San Francisco is very, very lethal.
I think it's interesting because the Ravens definitely, it's the star power of the quarterback and the offense.
Who would you choose instead of the 49ers?
Instead of the 49ers?
The Ravens.
So I can't use any of Ben's
you
picks?
can't repeat.
Oh, we can't repeat.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay. That makes things kind of hard.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So 1 is my Ravens. Ben took the 49ers. That's tough. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna just steal them from Ben. I don't. There's nothing wrong with the Eagles to me. I think the Eagles are a good team.
For those watching, Ben is the number 1 Eagles fan out there. So
on Michigan State University's campus.
Yeah,
that wounded his soul.
Probably not in the world, but definitely maybe on this campus. Probably on this campus.
In the confines of East Lansing.
Yeah, maybe in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, I'm ready to give you that title. Until I meet somebody more, about Philly sports, then we'll take it from there. But
well, it makes me want to pick the Lions and take them from you, but I can't rightfully put a 1-1 team in the number 4 slot in the NFL, can I?
I'm not gonna say you can't.
We're gonna go. I'm gonna pick the Cowboys. They've been
That's a good
lethal
pick.
this year. If there's one team that I think not scares me, but the Eagles just never. It's always a split with the Cowboys. We don't show up in Dallas, and they don't show up in Philly, and so I definitely see that being a split this year. But the Cowboys are super strong, and obviously the news came out today about Trayvon Diggs might have a torn ACL. That's going to affect that a lot. But
That just sucks.
so
man.
far, I mean, the amount of pressure they've gotten in the first 2 weeks, I don't even know that you need corners on the field.
That's a good point. I wish the Lions could relate to that statement, but no. With my number 3 pick, I'm gonna go with the. This one's kind of tough.
Oh, it's
but-
confirmed torn ACL? Okay.
Oh, you didn't know it's confirmed?
No, I just saw it.
Yeah. no.
Feared.
Poor guy. NFL just having to a terrible start with these injuries.
Him
It-
and Nick Chubb are just out for the.
Oh. Okay.
And C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
Maddox
David
has the
Montgomery
same
gave me a
injury.
scare there. It's like
I know. I didn't even know when he got hurt because apparently it was when he twisted around. But I don't know if you remember. Like he kind of just got up and jogged off the
Yeah,
field.
I didn't think it was gonna be something that was
Lengthy.
super serious, and it ended up I was surprised that knocked him out of the game
Yeah.
entirely.
But number 3.
Yeah, number 3 from you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We've been kind of lollygagging over here, but I'm gonna go Dolphins. Dolphins are my number 3. I really liked how they looked against the Patriots. They got testy for a little bit, but they closed the game out. I think as the weeks go on, they're just gonna get better and better. I think they got a good defense. Everybody knows about their offense. I love Raheem Mostert. I don't think I've ever really put that out publicly, but I think Raheem Mostert's super underrated, and I think he's a very good running back.
They've been scary this year.
Yeah.
Tua looks real good. I think he just became the betting favorite to be the MVP.
Really.
So crazy to get them with the 5th overall pick. But keep it simple here and go with the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, not
I thought you just said you weren't going to go with a 1-1 team.
in the 2 spot.
Well, the Chiefs won the Super
3
Bowl
spot
last year, so it's a little different because the
3
Lions didn't even
spot
make the playoffs.
is wide open. Yeah. And the Kansas City Chiefs still have the most talented man to ever put on a football helmet. So I'm not going to, put them outside any sort of top 5 list, even though they're 1-1 and their receiving core looks like hot garbage. But defense looked great against a really good Jacksonville team last week, and they'll be back. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. They'll be one of the best teams by the end of the season and probably one of the last 4 standing.
Yeah, and with my number 4 pick, I've already brought them up 5 times in this first 10 minutes. I'm going to take my Lions. I didn't want to take them too early like you didn't want to, but I think it's a good time. I think this is the 8th or 9th pick, so I think, it's fair to say that the Lions are the 8th or 9th best team in the NFL. I don't think I'm drinking too much Kool-Aid by saying that.
Yeah, Lions have looked good. I think the Seahawks could sneak their way in here.
Yeah, it's honestly kind of... I was in between them and the Lions, but I just... After they wore our ski masks and kind of mocked us, I don't have any respect for them.
But yeah, the Seattle's week 1 was awful.
I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, well, Witherspoon didn't play. Woolen got sort of beat up more than he ever did in last year. And week 2, Woolen was a little better. Not as much receiving talent against him, I don't think. But Witherspoon looked pretty mid, and that concerns me with a D-back that they picked like 6th, 5th overall.
Yeah.
And he was against Amon-Ra a bit, so
Yeah,
we'll give him
no.
a pass there, I guess. But the Seahawks, other than those defensive struggles early on, the offense looks great as it did last year, and Geno, I think with week 2, proved that he is not taking any sort of step back.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. With my next pick, I'm going to stay in the NFC West, and I'm going to go the Rams. You know,
Wow.
they
Imagine saying that at the beginning of this season.
No, and I'll tell you what, my cousin who's a 49ers fan, all off season was like, watch out for the Rams, man. Like they've like, what has really shown you that they're not gonna be decent? Like obviously they don't have the talent on the team that they had
won
a couple years ago.
4 games last year.
Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, what went right? Like everything went wrong for them last year. I think they were literally missing Kupp, Donald, and Stafford. So I mean, like. They have 2 of the 3 back, and Kupp's going to be back shortly, and McVay's always going to be a great coach. So I just think, you know, I don't think it's as surprising as a lot of people thought. But then again, I'm still surprised that they, you know, beat the Seahawks and only lost to the Niners by 1 score.
Yeah.
Was that my 5th pick?
That was your 5th
Yeah, it
pick.
was.
Okay.
I don't know that I want a 5th pick.
Okay.
You don't think a team's earned it?
The Chargers were one team that I've been thinking of, but they looked.
The Chargers don't look good.
No, their defense looks so bad. Honestly, you know, I'm gonna throw the Patriots in here. They're 0.
I swear I was thinking
they're
about it.
0-2, but I think they looked really good against 2 really good teams. And
I thought you were a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. You don't want to put Jaguars in there?
I'm a Jags.
Underwhelmed me.
I'm a Jags truther. I think right now, until both of those receivers prove that they can have a good game at the same time, I'm a little lower on that offense than I was coming into the year. But
Calvin
if they do,
and Zay?
yeah, or Calvin and Kirk.
Oh.
But if they do it in week 3, then I'm right back in it. But right now they're probably my number 6. Something about me really wanted to pick the Patriots here with a 0-2 start and just be bold.
They haven't looked terrible. I think it's unfair to say that, you know.
Yeah, top 5 might stretch, but
I mean, technically it's top 10.
I just wanted to talk about how they're underrated.
It's cool.
Speaking of underrated, Mia.
Okay. In next segment, we're going to get a little controversial. Since we just started the NFL season, we're going to talk about players who live up to their hype and players who don't live up to their hype. So we're going to pick a player you think is the most underrated, and then you're going to pick a player who you think is the most overhyped player in the league right now, and it's just getting too much traction.
That's good. That's a good one. And I don't really, nobody like quickly jumps out to me.
For over or under or both?
Over both. Honestly, I was mad that
I have an underrated player that jumps out to me.
I'd like to think about this
and I think he got hurt in practice today, or maybe during the last game, which I'm super sad about. And he's probably going to be put on IR. Derek Stingley, the corner for the Texans, top 3 pick? Yeah, top 3 pick.
Number 3.
Couple years ago, and had super underrated rookie season where, you know, he gets overshadowed by Sauce and by Woolen, or no, yeah. But he was super good, and I think if he was doing what he does in the market that Sauce does what he does, he would be thought of in the same breath as Sauce Gardner. But the guy got targeted 4 times over his first 2 games this season, and now it looks like he's going to miss the rest of the year. But
oh, it's that bad?
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
That does.
I heard IR, so I know that's different now. That's
it's
like
only 4 weeks, but I mean, still.
Yeah.
You never know.
He's going to miss some time, but
it's funny you say that, because that literally leads me into my overrated pick, and that was the name that first
Sauce?
came up to. Yeah, it is Sauce, and I'll tell you, it's not that he's a bad player.
Is that his name, Sauce?
Yeah,
well,
you know,
it's not like his given
his full name is
name.
Ahmed Sauce Gardner. You know.
Oh, so they just call him Sauce?
Yeah, it's
Who
his
does he
name.
play for?
His lifelong nickname, the Jets. He's number 1.
Don't look at me like that.
Honestly, you
I'm the
kind of
person
deserve
who's-
that
I'm
look
the
right now.
person that doesn't. You're teaching me right
Okay.
now.
But
He's
anyways,
the rookie of the year.
Yeah, no, Sauce I think is a little
Over Hutch.
overrated. Hutch had more interceptions than him, and he's a defensive lineman. But no, I'm not saying Sauce isn't great. I'm not saying that.
He's a Detroit
but I think
boy.
he is a
3-1-3
made. But no, yeah, I think the fact that it wasn't even really a conversation, it seemed like, amongst the people voting, I think that was a little disrespectful to Hutch and what he did in his rookie year. So, overrated. Sorry, Sauce. I love you. You know, if you ever want to come back to the Lions and come back to the D, I will take this back so quick. But no, Sauce is my pick right now.
I'm sorry. I forget sometimes that you're not from Michigan.
That is true.
Yeah.
I'm from California, everybody.
You don't know Sauce?
Southern California, to be exact.
You don't know Sauce? He's a local kid.
Wait, so that was your overhyped?
Yeah, so now he has his overhyped and I got my underhyped. So I'm gonna let you go first.
I mean, Dak is overhyped is such a played out take that he's probably underhyped now.
That's actually pretty funny. That's pretty true.
Like it's like the Bryce Harper thing where it's like you called him overrated for so long that now he's underrated.
What about Justin Herbert?
Oh, Justin's so good though. I can't like point to anything that he does.
You think Justin Herbert's over?
No, I just think there maybe is time for a conversation.
I think it could be time for that conversation. I think I want to see him with a new coach before I have the conversation about the player being overrated.
Who's the Chargers coach?
Brandon Staley.
Is he young as well?
He is young.
He's young.
And they have a first-year play caller this year.
Yeah.
Who's Kellen? Not first-year.
Well,
calling
Kellen
plays.
Moore. Yeah, he's been the Cowboys OC.
But first-year calling plays for the Chargers.
Yeah, but I can never really point to anything Justin does on a field as being like, oh, that was like the reason the Chargers lost. Usually it's the defense or the time management. And when you have a defensive coach and you have time management problems.
It's not a good mix.
Yeah. Makes me think that the problem is more the coach. Herbert's not a terrible pick.
No, I can't.
Before this season, I would have told you Justin Fields, and I think that take is being proven pretty right.
No, I would run with that if I were you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mad I didn't take that because I could have used 5 minutes to rant about that because I was arguing.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, no, I was arguing with my friend all off season about that, but no. So you're going Jay Fields?
Yeah, I'll go Fields. Which after 2 weeks, he's probably not overhyped. But coming into this year, yeah, he was very overhyped.
So we're gonna go under now for me.
Who's your underdog?
Man, like I really don't want to just keep talking about the Lions like all day long. I'm not though. I'm gonna go Devonta Smith.
I interchange it. I don't know.
Devonta. Whatever one you like, buddy. You're the most underrated player to me.
I think Devonta.
Yeah. You know, Smith, man. Number 6 on the Eagles.
Number 6.
You sure play some good ball, man. No, but he loves.
Thank you, Dan Campbell.
He goes out there and he freaking balls out, and I love how so many people were like, "Oh, he's so small. He's so this. He's so that," and then he goes out and he's getting more targets and receptions than A.J. Brown, and I think, nobody's really talking about it. And he's super funny every time he's mic'd up, so bonus points for that.
People will not, let you talk about how much they were concerned about Devontae Smith's size coming out of Alabama. He guy's a Heisman winner.
They're acting like he forgot how to play football, and that his size, I was like, guys, he
was mossing guys in college. He's mossing guys in the NFL. He was breaking tackles in college. He's breaking them in the NFL. He wasn't hurt in college. He's not hurt in the NFL. So.
And then
period.
Okay. Then who do you think the top 5 most hated NFL players are?
Top 5 is hard. I think Dak is number 1.
Dak's got Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, public enemy. He's public enemy number 1. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's the most hated player.
According to ESPN Southwest Florida, it number 1 is Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, the guy.
I'm gonna go Joey Bosa. After that, I don't like Bosa.
I mean,
Oh.
This is gonna get us in trouble. If me and Ben are
It
ever
says
big
he-
shots in the
he never
sports world,
accepts
like this is
responsibility, and then signs the
Yeah,
biggest guaranteed
he
contract in NFL history.
Is a
Kakawiwis?
yeah. No comment.
Yeah.
Um,
The FCC
There
won't let
are-
us comment on this.
there are well-known reasons why nobody likes Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, because he pushed that ref over the
But
weekend.
yeah,
and
that's
denied
why.
responsibility.
Yeah, did not
Sensing a trend here,
Mhm.
man.
just makes
What do you think number
I'm
2
not
is?
making that joke.
Deshaun is number 1.
May
so.
yeah, Dak might be too.
The whole list could be quarterbacks because
It
that's just how
probably is.
polarizing the position is.
I'm gonna put Najee Harris in that top 5 in terms
He's
of
such a
hated.
nice guy.
Oh, Cam Akers has to be.
Oh
there.
yeah, who does he think he is? Like, I'm sorry. What does he think he's
All
done?
right.
Has he scored a touchdown? Like, I think he's-
Are you surprised they listed? Okay, for number 2 they listed Odell Beckham Jr.
No, I like him.
I love OBJ. I
Yeah.
would never.
I also
for the
like
culture.
OBJ.
OBJ is for the
I
culture.
would never.
OBJ changed the game, arguably.
There is no Tyrell Henry without OBJ.
Facts. Nobody would have even. No.
Okay, the website called him a diva wide receiver.
Everybody's a diva wide receiver.
Yeah,
I think
there's a lot
Kenny
of deep-
Galladay was a bigger diva than OBJ,
Yeah.
but you know. Anyways,
You can be a diva when you have the production to back it up, and maybe that's the argument with OBJ is over the last 4 or so years he doesn't have the production to back it up. But
my next pick is going to be Aaron Rodgers 50% of the time.
yeah,
Like, sometimes I love him, and I'm like, this guy is the best.
A-Rod gets my sympathy right now.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to poop on you. Feel better, man. Even though he's about to be back
Well,
in, like, January.
Yusuf, you got the number 3 pick right. So.
Wow,
Aaron Rodgers?
It's Aaron Rodgers.
people really don't like.
I
You know
don't
what's
need
so-
to know about football. Aaron Rodgers is hated. Like I
Yeah.
don't watch I
My
cannot
mom-
watch
my
football
mom,
and
who's
know
like-
that Aaron Rodgers was hated. I
My
don't know.
mom, who
why.
moved here from the Middle East like 20 years ago and just watches football for the vibes, like just after like 5, like she after watching a couple games with me, she's like, I don't like this number 12 guy.
Did one of you say Jalen Ramsey?
I like
No,
Jalen Ramsey.
I love Jalen
Yeah.
Ramsey.
He's number 4.
Me
Jalen
and Ben
Ramsey
kind of like people that people hate, I feel like.
Jalen Ramsey has like I can't think of anything he's done to make people hate him except for like request a trade.
That and when he kind of pooped on Tyreek Hill for no reason and was like, he's a return man.
Okay,
And then
yeah.
he got
and then he got
toasted.
torched. But he's probably been, I mean, without a doubt, most consistently over the past like 8 years or so, however long it's been since he came into the league, he's been the best quarterback.
Can I secretly
in the
whisper
league.
a pick that I want to make right now, but I'm not going to make it on the mic?
Yeah. Oh, not in
can't
this
say
studio.
that. Yeah, no. But I really
Okay, number 5 is another Miami Dolphins.
Tyreek Hill.
Braxton Berrios.
No, it's Hill. Just because he's so
Because
arrogant.
obviously.
I hate that Braxton Berrios
Took
was
Alex Earl
yeah
from
took
me.
Alex Earl from me.
I think she cheated on him,
You
though.
knew exactly
This is a
where
pop
I was
culture
going with
podcast.
that.
She cheated on him. So, Alex, you're watching Waterboys episode
Of
2.
course she is.
Holla at me.
All
Anyways.
right. How'd that fantasy game go last
Man,
week?
I saw too many numbers. Did we add it up?
Yeah, Ben. Okay, over the last
What
week,
the-
Ben and Yusuf created a fantasy league, and we added up the points, and Ben won by an overwhelming margin.
It's not fair.
Yeah, we're gonna draft a fantasy.
At the end of the episode,
yeah.
we're going to draft another one for next week. But let's just say Ben won by 104 points.
That's not fair. I had Nick Chubb.
to Yusuf's
That is not
77.92.
fair.
Also, yes, Yusuf
Yes.
did draft Nick Chubb, and Nick Chubb did get injured, and
And-
is no longer going to be playing the rest of the season.
Brees Hall
So
got 4 carries for Yusuf. Calvin Ridley and Amon-Ra Calvin Ridley had a stinker and Amon-Ra got hurt.
Debo did good for me.
Debo did very well for you.
And once you texted me,
who's
My flex killed it.
I
James
gotta
Cook.
really figure out.
Yeah,
Also-
I was gonna say, Ben, your flex did kill it.
Also,
Your James,
James
your
Cook?
James Cook killed it.
I didn't think. I
killed
thought
it on my fantasy team.
he did.
Yeah. However, Yusuf beat me last week in our fantasy league, so
Yup.
we'll go. We were 1-1 last week.
Yeah.
I think
You tell us who Justin Fields is, and then why people are commenting on it's kind of the end of his era. Like the Justin
Yeah.
Fields era is over.
No.
I got a lot of videos over the week
I think
telling me that Justin Fields era is over.
right. No, I think that's unfair. I'm gonna be the first one to say it as one of his biggest doubters. I do think it's a little unfair to say his era's over. It's like, week 2 of the third.
his third
Yeah.
season in the NFL.
And he has had flashes, and it's
I mean,
not.
the guy ran for 1,000 yards
Yeah,
last year.
and he has tools. He just hasn't put it all together. And I think when that's the case, it's unfair to completely write somebody off. And I think there's definitely going to be, even if it's done with the Bears, which I don't think it is. I think they might even give him another year after this one. Like, I don't see the Bears cutting ties with him after this. But to answer your question, Justin Fields is the newest of the list of Ohio State quarterbacks who has kind of not lived up to expectations.